Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about MySTARS registration system for courses. We are from Lab Group SS4 and we are Group 3. Our group members are Huang, Chaoshan, Li Rui, Pandey, Pratyush, Kumar, Ziyuan, and Xinyang. Today's agenda will be firstly talking about the design principles that we apply during developing this program, followed by the object-oriented programming concepts, and also exception handling in our program. Following this will be functionality and conclusion, and we will also give a demonstration to tell you how this works. Firstly, I will talk about the design principles. Out of 5 design principles of Solid have been used in our program. The first principle, single responsibility principle, we mainly use this for the administrator controller and student controller, which makes the allocation of responsibility for these classes of high cohesion. Secondly, we use the open-close principle. The class should be open for extension but closed for modification. We use this mainly in notification and file handling, such that in the future, if we are to add different methods to notify a user or to handle a file, they will be added with little modification to the current code. And thirdly, the Liskov substitution principle. We override several methods that are inherited from object and comparable. They still perform the same functionality as these two parent classes, and they give even more, so they're expecting no more and giving no less. Finally, the dependency injection principle. We can use other methods for notification. Other than email, we can use SNS and other methods, and we do not need to change the current methods for that. And now I'll pass on to Chaoshan for the OOP concepts.
Thank you, Xinyang. So let me talk about the OOP concept that we adopted in our project. First and foremost, abstraction. Abstraction means use simple things to represent complexity. In our project, we have created many objects, classes, and variables. Secondly, the encapsulation. The encapsulation that is a practice of keeping fields within a class private, then providing access to them via public methods, which we have made use of that in our project. Next, inheritance, which we have created new classes that share some of the attributes of existing classes. This let us build on the previous work without reinventing the wheel. Lastly, polymorphism, which we use the method overloading and method overriding in our classes. Now I'll pass my time to Pratyush to talk about the exception handling and other things.
Thank you, Chaoshan. So now I'll be covering a few functionalities like password masking and update courses, which won't be covered during the demonstration of test cases. So I'll just show password masking right now. And I type ABC. The password is 1234, but it won't be showing. And then we have successfully logged into the password to admin account. Now I'll just press 0 to log out. Now the next functionality is update courses. For updating courses, I've already logged into the admin account through the terminal. I'll just this is showing the menu. This update courses menu is there. There are 8 options. I'll start with the first one, update course name. I have CZ2001. I'll make it algo. Was updated successfully. Sorry, this is adding a student. I do course school. Now this time I have to update the course school, so I do HE9091. I make it ADM. It was updated successfully once again. Now this is again course name. I update course index vacancy now. So for this I have CZ2002. You can see that it's not case sensitive. So I'll just enter 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'll put the new vacancy as 3. Now has a new capacity of 3. Now I'll update the course code. So updating course code is one of the most difficult functionalities in the updating courses. I'll show you the reason why. So because the course code is linked to the index and it is also linked to a lot of places, it may cause some bugs. So I'll just show that updating course code works perfectly. So I already have CZ2001. I update the course code to CE2001 and it was updated successfully. To test it out, I'll actually print courses by print students by courses. So I'll print CE2001. You see all the students are there. Initially CE2001 wasn't there in our database. So now just to show that CZ2001 is not there, I'll print it out for CZ201 as well. And you can see that it's an invalid course code now. So this successfully shows that our updating of courses is working perfectly. And besides updating courses, we also have a few extra functionalities within updating courses, which is add new index, delete new index, add new course type, delete course type. And for the innovation part of our project, when we are swapping index with the peer, instead of allowing the peer to log into the terminal as well, we actually send an OTP to the peer's email address, and the student that has been logged into the account right now enters that OTP to successfully swap index with the peer. So this is a very innovative part that we tried out on our own and added to our application, because this makes our application much more secure, as OTPs are much more secure than allowing the user to enter someone else's password and then swap. So thank you so much. Now I'll pass on my time for the demonstration of test cases.
Now I will demonstrate the test cases. Let's first to try to log in as an admin. We'll use the initialize admin account. The domain is 2, which means it's an admin account. Let's choose the admin domain and enter the admin username. But this time we enter wrong password. Let's see. We are rejected from entering the system. Let's log in again using the correct username and the password. The correct password. I will successfully log in and get the menu display. Let's try to add a new course. Choose 3. Enter the course name, course code. Let's assume it's a UE class and enter the AU. So we can see here we got our new course added successfully, but the course code is automatically converted to the uppercase. Now let's see what will happen if we try to add this course again. The exactly same course code. And we are rejected because the course code already exists. Now let's try to add a new student. Let's choose to add a student. Let's try to add Anna. It will tell us the metric number already exists. Let's try to add another new student. Let's see, because here Bell is successfully added into the student list. And after successfully adding Bell, the whole student list is displayed here. And just now, remember, we got Anna rejected because it already exists here in the student list, so we cannot add an existing student. But if we enter the wrong data, let's try. Let's try to add the student. The nationality. Let's enter some wrong data. It will prompt us to re-enter everything. Now we will exit the system. Now we will try to log in as a student. We will again use our initialize student here. Let's first choose the domain. Use this credentials and log in as student. Let's first see what course we get. The course registered. Don't have any course registered. Let's try to add a course. Let's try to add this course. Actually, 9091 12341. We are successfully added into this course and the timetable printed. We can notice that on Monday we have a time session from 8:30 to 10:30. What if we try to add another course? Let's see. If we try to add CZ2001, which also has a session on Monday and Tuesday, what will happen? Direct issues clash. The result we get? The following slot clash on Tuesday and the following slot clash on Monday. So we failed to add in the new course. Let's check the vacancies of another course. Say we want to check the vacancies for this index. There are 2 vacancies.
We now initialize all access period in our database initialization. We also add 10 students to CZ2001, index 12345. We now check what will happen if student A is added to a course index with 0 vacancy. You can see it is added to the wait list. We now drop student B from the same course index and see what will happen to student A. Because student A is added automatically and the notification is sent. Now student B has dropped the course. And student A is registered. We now check the functionality of print student list by course index. We now print student list by course. We now check what will happen if invalid data is entered. The index does not exist. Now the course does not exist. We now check the functionality of editing access period. Now student cannot access. The domain now is wrong. We enter again. Now the student can access. We now check what will happen if invalid data is entered. Now the format is wrong. We now try the functionality of swap student A's index with student B's index. We first register the student. Now we swap its index with a student that already exists in another index. a one-time password is sent to the student, whose index is being swapped.